It was Cure that took him down.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yes. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into this series that is happening in the now. Spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. Some would call him the underdog. He's a new face to Afreeca world. It's BratOK, the Russian Terran.
And spawning on the top left, the Menace. He's red, and he's solar. Yeah, ZVT right now, pretty interesting matchup, I would say. If this was special, I'd say his mech is very, very good, as we saw him take down several Zergs in WESG using it. BratOK, also a fan of the mech, as I did cast a couple of games of his versus players like Snoot. And he's very comfortable with that style. He can really make it happen there. And we'll see if Solar's prepared for that, or if it's something that might take him a bit by surprise.
Yeah, BratOK, a bit of a like sort of unorthodox mech player. I personally haven't cast him. I've seen some of his games though. And that's why I was like, okay, don't sleep on this matchup, guys. Well, everyone's going to say Solar's a favorite. If you're going to throw your opponent off and maybe make an upset happen, being unorthodox is a good way to go about that.
True fact. You can surprise your opponent. That's like half the battle right there. All right, so nothing crazy. Out of Solar, hatch gas pool.
Yeah, no surprises
Reaper
just yet.
Yeah, Reaper on the way. Gonna have some lings and queens to deal with it. Yada, yada, yada. You've seen it times.
Okay, I'm officially a fan of BratOK. This is all it takes. SCV scouting, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
SCV out there to basically tell, are there lings on the way? Do I have my Reaper home? Or can I move it across the map and try to get some damage done? That's what this SCV is for.
Yes, that SCV has one job in life, and that's to sort of run through the village saying, or say the trolls are coming or whatever. I don't know. But SCV scouts, nothing out of the ordinary though. So BratOK happily moving across the map with his Reaper, goes right into a reactor, no marine, and yeah, just gonna be very happy in that regard. Gonna go confirm a third base out from Solar.
Yeah, pretty darn quick third, sub 3 minutes on that. Just a pretty standard macro opening from Zerg, to be honest.
Oh, okay, Reaper comes
Lings on creep are faster. Get off that creep, Reaper friend. He does. He gets off the creep, gets some shots off. Solar not losing any lings to this harassment at all. Speed on the way. Queens are here. Queens shut it down. And a starport opening back home from BratOK.
Oh, can he get that drone? That would be very nice.
No.
Oh, good reaction from Solar.
Yeah, Solar has always been very good at babysitting his drones in situations like this. Can't remember the last time I saw him lose a ling from anybody controlling this Reaper. And yeah, even as a last resort, even if you just have to turn it into a spore for a little bit, lose some resources, it's definitely better than losing a drone forever.
I am loving how active BratOK's being with this Reaper out the gate, though. Like, he's continuously poking and prodding. He's now going home. Got his Hellions on the way, so looking very, very active. And so I'm excited to see what he's going to bring out next. And it's going to be a Banshee, a Cloak Banshee on the way. Okay, looking like a pretty standard build. We'll see if he throws up an Armory to maybe make this a standard aggressive build. Regardless, just watching a new... It's been a while since I've had a chance to cast a player that I really haven't seen a lot of, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's new and shiny. Very fun. All right, I love the Mad Max Hellions, too. We don't see the skin enough, in my opinion. Just putting knives on the front of these things is fantastic.
Yeah, the bone Hellions.
Yeah.
I think I still rock this one.
You should.
Yeah, as a Terran, we get a few cool skins.
Overlord Scouts in, not going to see much of interest, really. Is going to see, oh, look, it's a starport. Oh, look, there's a tech lab, and probably going to be Cloak Banshee. I guess that's a decent scout to be able to see that happening.
Yeah, Solar does see the Hellions, does see the Banshee, and an Armory is on the way, so he has thrown up a Roach Warren. It's not the quickest Roach Warren in the world, but it's definitely there for safety. So Solar getting ready. Probably going to want to make those roaches as soon as that Roach Warren's done if he does sense an attack like this is coming.
And it's coming. So that Roach Warren cannot finish too soon for Solar here. He wishes it was done right now. Thank you very much. But making more drones, making more lings to try to stem the tide at this point. But That Roach Warren is almost complete. There it is. And immediately not making roaches.
No,
Instead,
this is actually
spreading
really
creep.
concerning. You need roaches now, Solar.
Or
Solar,
banelings.
a greedy Zerg here, coming on in. I mean,
Oh gosh, 55 to 38 workers.
Man.
Yeah, these lings are going to do virtually nothing. Oh, they actually did get the Reaper and a Hellion there, but...
Yeah, still though. Banshee's working away on these Queens. Hellbat's getting on top of them. Solar has 8 roaches on the way. I mean, this was so delayed.
Actually, he might be okay.
Yeah, he's just got to buy time now till the roaches come out. Banshee's working away on these Queens though, and is he going to be fine? Is he just the master of cutting corners?
I mean, he's only lost 5 drones, which is a minor miracle. 6 drones have gone down. Now the roaches are here. It's still a 50 to 41 worker lead. He didn't lose his third base. He ended up losing exactly 4 queens and 24 lings. Yeah, and I think that's a fair trade. Keep your third base, keep your drone count high, and you can handle anything.
Yeah, the queens could have been... The queens did hurt a little bit. That was a little bit longer for the roaches than I suppose he needed. Banshee coming on in. Nicely done for BratOK. Getting a few more drones here. Gonna be running on in with Hellions. Actually eyeing up the natural, it would seem, or maybe he'll go into the main base. This is fantastic from the Terran player, though. BratOK coming on in. Solar, a beautiful drone split. How many drones are gonna go down, though? It's definitely gonna be some, and oh man, it's racking up here.
My goodness, 16 drones. That is the drone count he was looking for.
StarCraft is a funny game. BratOK goes for such a massive attack, doesn't get a bit of damage done. A few Hellions run on in and gets so much done. Even the Banshee coming on in here, finding some more kills. I'm very impressed with BratOK's performance so far.
Yeah, so far so good. This is how you have to play mech. It takes you a while to ramp up your army. You can't really harass with anything but Hellions and Hellbats. So I like that he's getting some damage done here. It is now 49 to 50 workers. We are even, Steven, on that one. And going for Hyperflight Rotors right now is BratOK. And that can be pretty damaging just because, I mean, it makes your Banshees so fast. Queens can't really catch them on creep. Overseers can't keep up with them even if they have the speed upgrade. So I'm kind of enjoying this. We'll see how this works out for him. Meanwhile, droning up so hard. Solar's up to, he was making 12 drones at a time there. Once these pop, we'll see what he's at, around 65, 70. He's like, I can't be even with a Terran. What is this?
Yeah,
we're going to go ahead and pop up to 70 workers real quick.
What is there? The Terran killed some drones. Better make some more drones.
But yeah, he doesn't want to do that. He'd rather use the larva for stuff. He'd rather use the resources for stuff.
It's not like he can just recover from that for free. Everything is going to be a bit later. The fact that he had to invest in that. That being said, Solar is a very good Zerg player, and while he's behind, it's I believe he definitely can bring it back. BratOK also going for this mech style. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe I haven't explored it enough, but I'm still not 100% confident. 100% of a believer in this mech style. Of course, games can be won with it, but I still think Zergs are getting better and better every day at dealing with these sort of new styles. So BratOK, though, coming on in with these Banshees. Finds a queen. Does he get a second? Yes, he does. Nicely done.
Yeah, 4 Banshees. Real scary. So fast. Roaches just melt at this number of Banshees flying around. There's a queen there if you want it. Or you just fly over, that's fine too.
In a second here, though. And there she goes. Nicely done. Look at this. Hellions running on in. Nice pull from Solar reacting there. BratOK, he's putting in the work, though. Look at this. Finding at least a few drones here. I'm loving watching this Terran play.
Yeah, he's being incredibly aggressive. Solar hasn't really been able to bother him at all. So much on the back foot. Going into, is this race car mech? This definitely is either battle mech or race car mech, whatever you want to call it.
I think race car mech is the best term for it.
I like it. It tells you what it is. It's fast. It's fast. It's everywhere on the map at once. Yeah, I always felt battle mech is kind of like, wait, what are we talking about exactly? But race car mech, you know.
Yeah, race car mech, you know. I feel as if, oh, look at this, BratOK. Man.
The Hydras can't get into position to save it. They're trying real hard. Denies missile attacks level 2.
Yeah, that is not a comfortable feeling for Zerg. Solar was being very proactive, like, I'm going to get my 2-2. Some Zergs, you know, they might delay it or skip it a little bit versus, say, mech or something. But nope, And BratOK just says, no, you won't. These Banshees, I mean, getting so much damage done. This is really impressive.
Yeah, 12 kills on one of these Banshees, by the way. 12 kills, 1 kill. That one's a slacker.
Ah, get to work.
3 and 4. So yeah, 12 kill Banshee kind of taking most of the deal here. But man, Blue Flame Hellions and Cyclones versus Roach Hydra gonna do pretty well here.
And oh my god, the Overseers are gone. BratOK locked onto the Overseers. There's now nothing to challenge the Banshees. And he's just annihilating Solar here.
There is a Spore here, which is really the saving grace.
It is, but still, even on the ground, this is fantastic for BratOK. This is a very open position, so the Cyclones are getting good work and locking on and just having a clear line to do so. The Vipers are abducting a lot of these units, though, so Solar may be able to clean this up.
Yeah, abducting... Really the key here is abducting Cyclones if you're Zerg and struggling against this. Just whittling down that Cyclone count helps immensely. That said, just making them at home 4 at a time, and they just keep coming across the map and getting more stuff done.
Yeah, the pickoffs, like, these are some high-efficiency Cyclones right now for BratOK. Solar just wasn't quite able to muster up the force, and BratOK's really snowballing right now. The Cyclones have cleaned out pretty much everything of the Zerg player.
Yeah, he's clearing creep tumors, he's killing overlords, whatever you can here with your race car mech. But man, making 9 Hydras at a time and 4 Roaches, it looks like Solar might just have the economy to keep this going. I can't believe how long this battle has been happening. Both players sending reinforcements to the front lines, and finally it seems like BratOK was pulling back.
Yeah, he does pull back. He's got a 4th base up behind this, though, fully saturated already. This is very nice that things are working out pretty evenly versus Solar. The trades have been rather even, actually pretty darn good for BratOK, considering that it is this style, and the fact that he's got a good economy to back this up, getting up more factories behind this. He can probably keep this going here.
Yeah, BratOK's got his 4th base done. He has a worker lead on the Zerg actually, which is awesome.
Yeah, not something you see every day for a Terran player. That's a good feeling. Also threatening with these Hellion run-bys as well, which is just awesome to see. They're always relevant in a game. These Banshees might even find and deny this hatchery.
Oh, they want the drones instead. They could probably gotten the hatch, but drone kills are more important here. Again, just forcing Solar to replace.
Yeah.
Is what you want to do. Also, free Hydra.
Oh, might not be free.
Maybe?
It hangs around. Okay.
Thought about it. Yeah, I think Solar is stabilized. I think there was really a bit of a dangerous situation there, but he did have just so much economy and so many bases. He was able to hold on, did not lose a base, which is a huge deal. He's expanding behind it. He's got the composition that he wants. He's double pumping Vipers. And BratOK just kind of going with what he had, what brought him here, and I'm just not sure that it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I want to say it's an alright position for him. That because his economy is so good behind this, he can afford to trade out. And the fact that he's on equal supply as the Zerg. So, yeah, there's definitely like a chance for him to keep taking good engagements here, as long as he keeps going on with the harassment, and it looks like he will be continuing on with that, but Solar... Oh, nicely done by Solar. Sending those Banshees packing.
Shuts that down real fast. BratOK pulling back. And yeah, Solar's maxed out, BratOK is maxed out, but the Viper count is 5, which is a lot of abducts. 12 Roaches, 36 Hydras, plus 3 missile attack is on the way for the Zerg, and further upgrades from BratOK here too. Going into advanced ballistics off of Liberators.
Yeah, I think that is a good transition for the Terran, because you can't just keep making Hellion Cyclone. The Liberators are good for zoning, and they don't get caught up on your army. So I think that's a very good choice. One thing that actually does concern me though for BratOK is the ability to trade out in this army. He's like, yes, it can trade out, but I'm worried the fact that he's got 95 SCVs as a Terran. His army is smaller than the Zergs, and just pure Cyclone here trading out versus Hydras and Vipers, I don't know if it's going to do it, and that could potentially lead to a snowball situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. Solar pushing in off creep, feeling really confident here. Spire on the way here too. Vipers looking for those abducts. That's a lot of Cyclones. How many abducts can you get off before you get killed is the question. Meanwhile,
nice.
Bit of a run by. Yeah. 4 more drones go down. And trying to pick off those Vikings, or the Vipers rather, with the lock-on, not quite able to do it.
Yeah,
And pulling back again.
It's an interesting dynamic. BratOK, though, the SCV count actually does concern me. Like,
94 is a lot.
it is. And in late game situations when both players are on ideal compositions, I'd say that's pretty good for the Zerg. And for Terran to overcome that, you generally do want a bigger army. You've got the mules as well, which can help you overcome, so you don't really need 94 SCVs. I mean, his economy is absolutely beautiful. I'm just a little bit concerned it could come back to bite him here. Solar moving out on the map with these Hydras, with these Vipers, gonna be looking for something. Finding a command center that's just finishing up. Can BratOK save this?
The Hydras are pushing in right now. Blue Flame, not enough. Blue abduct one on the Cyclones, but just a bit of a concave here with the Hydra. Cyclones getting wrecked, Liberators getting wrecked or moved in at the very least.
Yeah, bad.
One of them does manage
BratOK
to escape.
The one Thor here is just a bit of an odd unit choice. That command center goes down, and BratOK just trades out rather poorly, taking a poor angle, loses 2 command centers so far. There's not a ton of Hydras left, but it's definitely still enough to be concerning. Solar.
Yeah, they're going to get that orbital command.
Man.
The Thor can't handle this. Get out of there, man.
Yeah, that's number 3 going down there. So 3 orbitals have been picked off a large chunk of BratOK's army. He's now investing in Thors, Cyclones, and Liberators to replenish this. But Solar, a fantastic engagement there.
Yeah, look at that bank too. 2,000, 2,000 for Solar, whereas it's only 400, 800 for BratOK down there. And yeah, I mean, it's upgrades, it's Hydras all over the place. 11 SCVs go down, maybe bringing BratOK to a more reasonable 83 worker count.
More reasonable. I mean, 83 is a good day for Terran usually. BratOK, I mean, maybe he wants to build more, but no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, maybe that would have been different if he did have a bit more army there to fight versus those Hydras, or took a bit of a different angle. Now he's in what could be a rough spot. A lot of his supply is tied up in production. Solar abducting those Thors. The Hydras just melt through them so quickly with their +3 attack. BratOK, though, does manage to push Solar back momentarily. More Liberators coming on in, getting set up.
So many Hydras, though.
That is the story of my ladder games, but oh man. These Liberators, they're doing the best they can to clean out these Hydras, but it's just a snowball seems to have started rolling, and BratOK can't stop it.
Yeah, +3 attack Hydras are nothing to joke about at all.
Yeah.
19 SCVs go down.
Man.
It's now a 64 worker count for BratOK. He is still actually mining from a couple of bases here, protected by planetary fortresses the Hydras don't want any piece of. But working on, is that Corruptors? Did I see Corruptors in production?
Yeah, you saw like 14 Corruptors in production, and there's a Greater Spire out.
All right, yeah, yeah. We got Blinding Cloud available too. Thor count not nearly enough here. This is gonna be just.
I mean,
it's gonna be death by Broodlords.
Liberators can help deal with Broodlings. There will be a few Thors out. The Hellions and Cyclones, maybe. There's always a chance that Solar can make a mistake. The concern. Look at BratOK's economy, by the way. 4,000 minerals at a time. Still, it's still beautiful for him. But we look at the resources lost. That tells a story. He was ahead earlier on. And oh man, Solar just coming on in, focusing down the Liberators, not giving a damn about the Thors on the ground, firing at the Corruptors, just cleaning out the Liberators, blinding clouds for days. This is actually looking kind of close, though.
Yeah, the Thor's doing fairly well here versus these Hydras. They're starting to get picked off. Good micro, and dang, BratOK actually held there.
He did.
What?
Yeah. Oh man, StarCraft's a funny game here. How BratOK, he did lose 10 workers as this has gone on. He kept his Thors alive though. And Solar, I mean, I'm not sure if he was completely maxed out at the start of that fight. I didn't quite catch that, but just the supply and the Corruptors, who knows? Maybe he would have been able to break that if he just went in with the Hydras or whatever. So, good fight for BratOK, staying alive. He's got a good economy, so he's not done just yet. And,
Well, let's look at that Broodlord count real quick. It is currently 6, with another one on the way.
One more to join in there. A late bloomer there.
The thing is, I'm not really convinced that Broodlord is the answer to Racecar Mech. I mean, if you're zooming around, Broodlords respond really slowly and poorly to attacks on your bases.
I agree with you 100% on that. Just, we'll see if BratOK does take that approach, though. Because generally it is that you don't want to engage the Broodlords, you want to hit the Zerg all over. BratOK queuing up a Hellion run by, waiting for that. So if Solar does move in and that is BratOK's response, that could go well for him. But look at this, more Broodlords coming in for Solar.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. BratOK's been expanding everywhere.
Yeah.
Solar, his bases are kind of spread out. If we see kind of a hit and run on the left side, then the right side, then the left side again, the Broodlords can't do much about that.
No,
and Corruptors can't do anything about it either.
There is such a thing as too many Broodlords, guys. Like we have seen Zergs throw games away because they overinvested in the Broodlords. Like it is a fairly common thing for Zergs to do because you only need enough Broodlords to force the Terran to back out of trying to fight you on the ground, right?
Right.
Like that's Broodlord's entire purpose, because one Broodlord will kill basically unlimited units on the ground. It's just the fact that you have a Broodlord. It forces the Terran to go into something else. And BratOK is trying to challenge this with Thors to Solar with a lot of Broodlords. It might go well for him. So I guess he is making the right choice. But if BratOK, say, was going into like lots of Vikings or whatever, it would not be good for Solar having 13 Broodlords.
Yeah, BratOK cannot attack into that. He recognizes it. Solar's expanding along the top right, going for pathogen glands, +3 flyer attack.
I love
Not
it.
an upgrade to see very much.
No, it's an important one. When those big battles are so important. Now this is nice from BratOK though, moving north, gonna be able to find this hatchery and
take it down easy.
Yeah, those Cyclones do that in pretty quickly there.
And trying to sneak on up. The Hydra's moving away a little bit.
Yeah, the Broodlords are in position, but Cyclones
They
kill a
are.
hatchery quickly. Queen's
Transfuses not enough.
They tried their darkness, transfusing that hatchery. BratOK, though, he does lose all the Cyclones.
Solar's got to attack at his main base, too.
He lost his hive. What?
Cyclones, do they wander up there, or do they fly?
I see no Medivacs, but it might have been... No, they must have just wandered up there. That hive was already injured from something before, but okay, nicely
Did he get the
done.
Greater Spire, too?
He must have, or... Yeah, he did.
He got the Greater Spire. Oh, all right. Solar's like, all right, screw you, man. It's time to go. He's moving across the map with all his...
Solar reset on tech here. BratOK looking for a Hellion run by. And look at this. Solar might be getting impatient here. He's looking to push on in towards the Terran player.
That's a lot of Liberators, but man, against free units.
They are very clumped up. That's rather
They
concerning.
are. How many Vipers are there, though? I don't see any Vipers up here.
Oh, there we go.
At least
Parasitic
one.
Bomb. Thors are working away on the Broodlords. They're trading out pretty decent. The Liberators have to unsiege. This fight not going BratOK's way. It wasn't a horrible trade, all things considered. He's got Hellions in Solar's base, but okay, Solar has broken through here.
Yeah, making more Liberators and 6 Thors at a time right now is BratOK.
Yeah, I feel it. Oh, losing bases left and right.
Yeah, Planetaries can't handle the Broodlords. They can't handle the Corruptors either. Thors, hey, we outrange you Broodlords by 1. We should be able to take you down. We do bonus damage versus massive 2.
I think
maybe we can get something done if we're in position, but he seems to be actually sneaking away. Maybe going for a weird Thor base race.
I mean, I dig it with Cyclones trying to counterattack and whatnot, but Thors are not quick enough to do that. He's coming in from a different angle. This is a lot of Thors. Is there enough of a buffer for them, though? It's just Thor here, pretty much.
Yeah, that's enough Hydras, a lot of Broodlings on the ground. Nothing.
I mean,
the
Thors are doing pretty well.
But the blinding cloud hurting there a little bit. That said, fighting on their own, the Broodlords are gone. Hydra's coming in to fight, doing a much better job in this situation. 185 to 80 supply. It looks like Solar is just going to start to roll here despite losing his main base effectively. He just went for the kill. Not the most cost-efficient win, but it looks like it is going to happen. Army supply 65 to 17.
Yeah, BratOK.
Solar's going to take game 1.
His good economy has crumbled. He's done though. He's trying his hardest, but the great economy that he once had to support himself in this game, it's pretty much gone. He's down to 13 SCVs. He's lost a ton of orbitals. He's holding on, pushing Solar back.
But I mean, it's 65 to 13 workers, 126 to 73 army supply. Hydras continually streaming across the map here. Just in huge numbers. Thors are not good in this situation.
I mean, in low numbers, they can trade all right, but there is just too many Hydras here. The last Thors are going to be passing on here. And BratOK down to 43 supply.
Not great. Making more Cyclones all the time.
Dropping mules in the top right. Trying to secure a base in the left, but these 3 Hydras are working away on that.
Yeah, something to say about that, that's for sure. Man, from 95 to 13 workers in this game. What a match.
Yeah. I'm not going to try and do the math, but that is a big drop. Like, he's still trying, but it's just, he's dead.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
GG.
super dead. Dead Terran there. 102 SCVs died in this game. 102. Whew. Yeah, 26-minute ZVT
Wow.
there. Featuring Race Car Mech versus Solar. Nice job, BratOK. Yeah, it almost, I don't know, kind of felt like a desperation push from Solar when he lost his main and all of his tech in his hive, but he made it happen. I felt like BratOK was in a pretty good position there, but trying to deal with the Broodlords using entirely Thors and Hellions to buffer for them, I don't know. That was the right answer. That said the corruptor count was high, so maybe Vikings weren't the answer either there. Just a tough spot overall.
Yeah, it is a tough spot. It's just, BratOK had himself a very nice position in that game. He could it's just the way they both went about playing it was a really interesting thing. The fact that Solar did decide to go for that Hydra Viper Broodlord and then just try and kill BratOK. Whereas, in my mind, I think like Zergs could play the... A lot of Zergs don't do this, but I feel as if Zergs, if they do try and play that sort of more passive Infester style, where you'll say get Infestors, you'll try and shut down all the harass the Terran throws at you and just be sort of unbreakable, get up a lot of spores. I'm interested in that. But I guess Solar just saw an opportunity and took it, and maybe BratOK gave him one. I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say. Pretty fantastic match, though. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully we see more.
That was a beautiful game. We'll see. I hope the next one's like that. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be on Cyber Forest.
Yes, Cyber Forest indeed. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. As a reminder, make sure to check out that Matcherino, guys. We've still got a fair few more of those coupon codes to use. Like, we got to get on that, guys. We'll harp more about that later on, but for now, we are into the next game. It's a best of 5. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, it looked like he maybe could have had that last game. It's BratOK.
And spawning in the bottom right, the Blue Zerg, he's Korean, he is Solar.
Yeah. I was going to make a prediction for this series. I know it's a little late for that. I was going to say that in my mind, I was like, okay, maybe BratOK can take a map off Solar. That was my prediction. I think some people would have just expected a 3-0 after that last game. He could have had himself a 1-0 lead. Not the case, unfortunately.
Nope. I feel like he was close. I feel like he could have,
He was close,
which is a good thing.
If he opens up like he did in that last game, maybe he can put another one on the board. Or put one on the board. I'm just looking at this Overlord here, and I've never really noticed how big, meaty claws the Overlords have.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could,
claws.
like, maybe lower themselves and do some damage while exposing themselves to ground attacks,
Oh my god.
right?
Oh, that would be
Overlord harass.
Fantastic. Like you're a Terran, you're just trying to go for, I don't know, like a walk in the park or whatever, and then an Overlord just glides down and tries to claw you or whatever, pick you up.
Yeah. I mean, not huge amounts of damage, but you gotta deal with it, you know?
Yeah, it definitely would be a problem, something that would have to be addressed. Overlords are the silent killer.
Have to be accounted for, yeah.
BratOK SCV Scout checking out that third base for Solar. and the lack thereof. Solar did get like a third at the 230 mark, so we'll see if he looks to repeat that for now, though. Reaper coming on in here.
Yep, Queen's out, show's over. Get out of here, Reaper guy. That said, BratOK, good at keeping these guys alive for a while.
Metabolic boost on the way, aka Zergling speed. Solar just does have that third base on the way. BratOK opening up fairly similar to how he did in that last game. Got that starport on the way, producing Hellions as well. We'll see if he throws up an armory or goes for a similar opening. The way that he played that in that last game, it looked like he had that very well refined, so I'd be down to see it again.
Yeah, me too. I feel like we should see more mech overall in ZVT. I think Blizzard would like to see more.
I feel as if they've done a pretty good job with it. Yeah, I'd like to see it be fleshed out more, definitely. Because I feel as if we haven't got to the bottom of the whole Terran mech thing. Oh, a Baneling nest on the way for Solar. Is this early? Or is this just him being a little paranoid? Because he's
I don't know. Remember when all those Hellions showed up and all he had was Lings? He was like, boy, I wish I had something else.
Yeah, it is interesting the fact that he chose to go for this, though. Like, we're 4 minutes into the game. He is scouting out with an Overlord, sacking it. Sees a Liberator, sees the Marine, sees the fact that BratOK's got a tech lab on the way.
I mean, I would say maybe a Baneling bust, except for the fact that Hellions are out, and Hellions do a great job against Baneling busts.
Yeah, I guess it's just for... guess it was just like a big old safety measure, and that Solar will be choosing to use Roaches, or use Banelings, not Roaches, to try and deal with potential Hellbats coming his way. Because BratOK is repeating that. That is a nefarious Hellion count right there. Gone up to 8. No Terran with good intentions goes above 6.
Definitely bad intentions for these Mad Max dudes. Again, Queen's pretty great against just Hellion, though. That said, Armory on the way. These could transform into Hellbats momentarily. The Queens have to be ready for that. 12 Lings in production. They have speed. They are ready to rock. Lair on the way here, too. We'll see if we make any Banelings to deal with these guys. I've seen it to pretty good effect. Slow Banelings on creep versus Hellbats. But man, here they are.
Liberator been going for some harassment, but not seen a single drone die, as a matter of fact. So
amazing.
BratOK not finding anything so far. Picks off a Baneling, which is nicely done. Realizing that if he did commit there, that the Banelings, Lings, and Queens would probably just shut him down. A very mature decision. I am a big fan of that. Another Liberator coming on in here, trying to get some harassment done. So far, he hasn't killed a single drone. Solar's been playing flawless. He gets a Queen, which is nicely done. Has to get on out of there. The Hellions continuously poking, denying subsistence creep. Oh, gotta be careful,
get that surround.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, pins him against the wall. All of the Hellions go down. Brutal. Woo!
Absolutely brutal.
That is not good. Any meching Terrans, that is a major. Oh crap. Oh,
yeah, you need those Hellions. BratOK is going into, actually Blue Flame already, producing more Hellions. Okie dokie. Centrifugal hooks on the way here. Solar just seems to be content using these Lings for now to deal with this, and he's doing a pretty darn good job with this. Magfield,
yeah, it takes them about an eternity without upgrades, but they'll get there.
Random Viking for BratOK. So far not got... Well, there we go. Just getting his first Overlord kill.
Changeling manages to get in there and actually stay alive for... Oh, never mind. He dead. I was going to say for longer than 5 seconds, but no. Not this time.
BratOK is getting into that mech production, but just the opening. Like, if you had to compare the opening from the last game to this game to what he got done, it's not looking too good for him. The worker count, Solar has already shot up to 75 drones. He's double expanding as this game's going on, getting up Hydras.
Yeah, I mean, really, killing that early group of Hellions allowed him to be here now. He's so happy. At 75 workers, mass producing Hydras rather, going for those upgrades, and he's got his Banelings ready too. If they want to change into Hellbats, they will be chased down and smashed and exploded by Banelings.
Absolutely. BratOK, he's going into that third command center, getting up that gas. That's a telltale sign of a mech player. He's just producing on that. It doesn't feel like a good situation for the Terran player, though. The Russian Terran, like, best case scenario, he's going to have a bunch of Hellion Cyclone versus a Zerg on a fantastic economy with,
I mean,
Hydras and Lings.
Yeah, Solar is like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes away from being maxed at this point with good upgrades, too. So BratOK, he needs to do something soon. He needs one of those run-bys where he 16 drones just to slow down Solar a little bit. Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do it, though. The creep spread is too good. The Hydra count is too high. There are Banelings rolling around everywhere. This BratOK looks like he is in a mountain of trouble.
Yeah, like, you guys may be like, well, Solar's not attacking or anything like that. Just the fact that what he's teching into, the fact that he hasn't got a lot done. Like, has a single drone died this game? A single drone has not died this game.
Oh, that's brutal.
That is fantastic. Solar's trying to play like a flawless game in that sense. Here comes in BratOK looking to get some damage done, but on the other side of the coin, Solar with a few Banelings must have got 7 drones. All the Cyclones and Hellions being surrounded. Not a good spot for BratOK. The supply tells one heck of a story right now. Solar,
yep, there it is.
He's going to go kill him.
Yep, this is a go kill the Terran player. We're going to make, maybe 23 Banelings. That sounds fine.
Just a casual 23.
Yep. I have the resources for it, no big deal.
These Hydras, they don't even have muscular augments yet, so they're so slow off creep. But Solar just doesn't even care. He's just got this blob. That 4th command center canceled. The 1 tank on the high ground, not happening.
Gone. I can't believe that 3rd's not a planetary fortress. Not that it would have mattered, I guess. And that's the GG. Solar takes the 2-0 lead.
Wow. Compare and contrast that last game, and it is just, it's rough. Like, it's just so rough.
Well, I just think you can't do exactly the same thing twice against somebody the caliber of Solar. He's going to sniff it out, prepare, and execute the counter build perfectly. And that's what we saw there. I mean, that was as big a shellacking as you're probably going to see here on this stage.
Is it time for the 2 racks? Is the real question.
It might be. I mean, BratOK cannot try to go race car mech again. It's not something that's on the table. It's done.
Yeah, he at least needs to change up the opening majorly or something like that.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, as I noticed in that last game after we gave it a bit of a mention, that we still got a lot of those Matcherino codes to use. Saw about 4 of you guys came in and added to that after I mentioned that previously. But let's try and get a few more of those codes used, guys. It's literally free money to the players. You give the winner more money, you give 2nd place more money, and you give 3rd and 4th more money. Just for literally, like, let's see, it's like 2 clicks or so. 2 clicks and type in that. So code AW35, putting that into chat completely for free. And both players are ready. We're going to get on into the next game.
Yes, let's do this thing here on New Repugnancy.
I feel like, yeah, BratOK had the chance for BratOK to take 1 map has passed, I feel. As rough as it is to say. But it's just, Solar is so good. And BratOK, I feel as if Solar's just getting a read on him at this point.
All right, let's see how we go. Bottom left-hand corner, he's blue. He's feeling comfy. It's Solar.
And up in the top right-hand side of the map, it's BratOK. No SCV's moving out, so he's not one to scare, it would seem, and go for the panic 2 racks. That's what I'd have done in this situation. Yeah,
I mean, it's something high risk, high reward, as I talked about earlier. sees that, and if Solar doesn't scout it, you have a pretty good chance of pulling it off.
Overlord flying across the map, doing their thing as usual. BratOK with the 1 minute GLHF.
A little late, but that's okay. Better late than never.
Standard stuff here so far. And in my opinion, I feel like I'm a bit of a downer a lot when I cast, but like, standard versus solar does not sound good for BratOK.
No. I mean, at the very least, it's different. You gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. SCV moving across the map. He's a winner in my mind, regardless of how this turns out. The fact that he's SCV scouted versus Zerg 3 games in a row.
Hey, man, you gotta do it.
You gotta do it. I believe 100% that's the case.
All right, Reaper in there doing some stuff in the main.
Oh, does he get a drone? No,
nope.
He doesn't. It's
Once
solar.
again, Spore Crawler created. Perfectly timed.
Can he wrap around and get it? Can he? Yes, he
Oh!
does. He did it. He did
Look
it.
at that. Massive victory there, getting a drone kill versus Solar here.
BratOK, when the world had fallen silent, breathing some life. I mean, that one drone, that's a big victory right there. Let's see if he can keep it rolling. What's he got going on behind this? He is going for that standard sort of Hellion starport follow-up. Got his Reaper hanging around. Oh, does he get a second drone? Can he do it? Solar is running that drone away.
No, gets it down.
That would have been so sick if you managed that. Overlord almost gonna make it. And yes, he does.
Oh, perching safely on that high ground.
But not for long.
No, BratOK says, I will find you and you will die.
Oh, that Overlord. Man, guys, we turned game sounds up a bit. I'm starting to question that.
Explosion's a little overwhelming.
Roach Warren on the way around the 30-35 drone mark, which is the standard Zerg safety, but I wouldn't be surprised if Solar just like starts up a lair, throws up a Nidus, and sends it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Nidus play at all. That would be a lot of fun. Although I know a lot of non-Zerg players hate the Nidus Worm with all of their hearts.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd like to see it viable as these Hellions just right in. Line them up. He is not splitting those drones. There we go. Better split. And 4 drones go down for all of the Hellions. That's probably a fair trade. I'm sure Solar's okay with that.
absolutely.
But yeah, back to the Nidus. For the longest time, it just wasn't viable at all, really. And then they made it viable. Maybe it's too viable. They maybe should back it off a little bit. But I like seeing Nidus Worms get play. There's a reason the intro sound for all of my videos on YouTube is a Nidus Worm.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see them go away. I just like to see them just nerfed a little bit.
See, the thing is, they're viable, but the question is, are they viable at the right time? No one wants to see Niduses be rushed every single, like, a lot of games 4 minutes into the game. I think everyone's dream scenario is that like Zergs are Nidusing all over the map, using it super tactically and stuff. And I see how Blizzard's trying to get there, but I don't know if they ever will get the Nidus to that point.
I'd like them to try.
Yeah, I don't know. Without getting too much into the balance, I think something good that they could do would maybe, like, I'm all for keeping the cost cheap so that it's like an option in the late game, right? But then, of course, we don't want it to be too good for rushing. So if I had an opinion, I'd maybe say like increase the call-in time a little bit or something. Like the time it takes for a Nidus to show up, keep the cost low, keep it just on lair tech or whatever. And then Zergs could just Nidus all over for days.
Yep. Do you think it would make a difference at all if you had to Nidus on creep? Like if you forced the Zerg to like poop some creep somewhere?
I think that would, yeah. Well, actually, that's a good point, because then Zergs would just start sending overlords, right?
Right, but you could shut it down, right? You just have Vikings patrolling, you kill the overlords, then no Nidus. You know what I mean? It just feels like they could do something about it.
Yeah, that would be interesting. It's definitely not perfect. But,
right. Some work to do, but there's always work to do.
There is. StarCraft, people will still be saying that things need to be patched by the heat death of the universe. Liberator coming on in, by the way.
Dude, Brood War hasn't been patched since the year, like, 2002?
Yeah, but
and people still complain about balance on that.
Everyone who plays Brood War has Stockholm Syndrome at this point. Just sticking with that game for so long.
I'm just saying, I cast it, I post it, the comments, a lot of comments are like, boy, I wish they would do tanks. And it's like, that's not going to happen. But it doesn't stop them from complaining. So yeah, I think StarCraft 2 in the year 2053, we're going to see complaints about balance.
Here's a question. I think you do a bit of Warcraft stuff, right?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Do you know of, with the whole Reforged coming out, is Blizzard going to be patching the game, like, balance-wise after that?
No.
They're
the
not?
Reforged is 100% single-player content. It's just like Remastered, right?
Yeah,
they prettied up the campaign.
I know there's
I don't think there's any way they balance Warcraft 3 further.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a possibility, but...
Yeah, I was just curious, because that would never have flown in StarCraft 1, remastering it. No one would play it if they patched it. But,
yeah.
The fact that, I don't know, I wonder if they'd be more open to that in Warcraft.
Hey, look, Swarm Host.
Yeah. Things are happening.
Yeah, see, look in chat. Chicken says they need to buff scouts in StarCraft Brood War. See?
Okay,
I'm telling you, there are huge discussions about balance all the time.
I have just played, like, I have played just a little bit of StarCraft 1, seen the scout maybe once or twice, and I agree, they need to be buffed. Let's see it.
Well, I mean, the counter argument is that scouts are really great against carriers and battle cruisers and guardians and big stuff.
They?
Yeah, they're really great, but nobody makes those units versus Protoss because scouts are so good.
Oh.
So the scout is performing a function just by being an existence, but you never see them because they're so good in certain situations.
Should we talk about what's happening, by the way?
I mean, yeah, it looks like BratOK is dead. We are pushing in here. The 197 to 147 supply lead, Roach Ravager. The Locusts on the offensive here from the Swarm Host. The timer is coming up faster and faster. Liberators ready to go, but Corrosive Bile says, Liberators, get out of my house. One of them goes down very quickly.
He's not dead yet. He's only lost 9 SCVs. The worker count
Where's
is
Todd?
even. Yeah, but it's Roach supply, man. Like,
yeah.
And there's a Banshee? What's Solar gonna do against this Banshee? He at least needs Hydras to finish this game.
No, the Banshee can't stop all of this by herself. She's great, but she can only do so much damage. Look at this.
Okay, you're right. BratOK accepts it. Here I am, trying to give BratOK fans some hope.
Yeah, that's fair. I appreciate that. Someone's got to do it. It's not me. Not me, though.
Anyway, big thanks to BratOK for coming out. That was about as expected. I mean, his first game was really good.
Yeah, it gave us a really exciting, longest game of the day so far, so can't argue with that. All right, so we're going to move into our grand finals, best of 7.
Yeah.
Between Creator and Solar. It's going to be TvZ action. It's going to be excellent.
Ooh, I just
good.
realized that tile